Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, the cash claim. Can gas stations legally charge you less if you pay in cash? We verify.
Keep the umbrella handy for Friday. Enjoy highs. Very cool in the 70s. Now by Sunday, the heat starts to build and dangerous heat next week.
And breaking news. Details on the January 6th attack at the U.S. Capitol and testimony against Donald Trump.
I made it clear I did not agree with the idea of saying the election was stolen and putting out this stuff, which I told the president was bullshit.
Why the bipartisan committee insists Trump lit the flame. A war scene of carnage and chaos. That's what Capitol Police testified under oath before Congress less than 2 hours ago. Good evening. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. In gripping testimony before the January 6th committee, Capitol Police relived the moments where their fellow officers were pepper sprayed, bloodied, and killed in what one witness called a battle, all aimed at obstructing the peaceful transfer of power. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is with us now with several of the moments that stood out tonight. Mark?
Mike, the video was some of the most emotionally jarring evidence of that assault, but we're going to focus on the words, the actions, and the inactions of the former president and his inner circle. Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney acted as the lead prosecutor, laying out her opening arguments, preparing the American public, the jury, if you will, for what they're about to hear over the coming weeks, laying out Trump's 7-part plot, she called it, to steal power from the public for himself. Cheney was steady and deliberate throughout, not overly sensational, as she laid out that evidence against Trump. As the head of Homeland Security and the National Guard, not lifting a finger to once call them and stop the rioters, and at one point even joining them in common cause to echo their chants of assassination.
And aware of the rioters' chants to hang Mike Pence, the president responded with this sentiment, quote, "Maybe our supporters have the right idea. Mike Pence, quote, deserves it."
We don't know exactly what she's quoting from. We'll see that soon. But then we heard from members of President Trump's inner circle, his campaign attorney tasked with looking for evidence of fraud in the election, and the Attorney General of the United States, both of whom told the president and his chief of staff directly they found no evidence of election fraud. Attorney General Bill Barr even urging the president to stop making sensational and false claims about rigged voting machines,
which was complete nonsense, and it was being laid out there. And I told them that it was crazy stuff, and they were wasting their time on that, and it was doing a grave disservice to the country.
We weren't finding anything that would be sufficient to change the results in any of the key states.
I did not see evidence of fraud. That would have affected the outcome of the election. And frankly, a year and a half later, I haven't seen anything to change my mind on that.
I respect Attorney General Barr, so I accepted what he was saying.
Talk about witnesses who hit close to home. Those were Trump's most loyal members of his inner circle testifying under oath and penalty of perjury. No, this was not a criminal proceeding. But yes, the Department of Justice is investigating on a separate track and has cooperating witnesses still gathering evidence. Several moments showed just how motivated Trump's supporters were, how far they were willing to go. One of them even said he was willing to die in pursuit of that fight to overturn the peaceful transfer of power. That stands in direct defiance and disrespect to the very oath, even the sacrifice our American soldiers paid earning and defending that right. Mike?
Much of it's so hard to watch. Mark, thank you. The next hearing will take place next Monday night at 7 o'clock. Several people from the St. Louis area were charged in the Capitol riot. Emily Hernandez of Sullivan, her uncle William Mary of St. Louis, and his friend Paul Westover of Lake St. Louis all pleaded guilty. Also charged, Nicholas Reimler from Valley Park, Jonas Buxton of St. Charles County, Joshua Dressel of Festus, and Jeremiah Carollo of Glen Carbon. And one of the most well-known faces of the riot was the so-called QAnon shaman, Jacob Chansley. While he's not from our area, he was at one point represented by St. Louis attorney Al Watkins.
Families forced and kicked out of their homes. Dozens of tenants in a Spanish Lake apartment complex are being removed without any explanation. Just a few hours ago, their councilwoman laid out a plan for what's next. Our Justina Coronel takes us to Spanish Lake.
but we all need help.
And that's why all these North St. Louis County tenants are coming through these doors. St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb wanted them all here to get resources.
This is horrific.
This is after a mass exodus happened at the Spanish Cove townhomes in Spanish Lake.
I couldn't believe that all of these people were being put out of their homes, like just like that.
Now, some are facing 30, 60, or 90-day eviction notices. This is after a new owner took over recently.
Some of them have leases that are not due or up until this fall, and many of them have been on time with their rent, so there was no justification given.
8-year tenant Terry Carter is one of them.
Put a letter in my door saying I have 60 days to move out.
And same for Kiara Taylor, who's lived here for 12 years.
Where are you going to go?
Webb has inquired for the reason.
I have been trying to reach out to them. I have not gotten any response back from them.
Residents haven't gotten a reason either. We, too, couldn't get a response. So we did some digging ourselves and went to the Better Business Bureau online and found out that they gave them an F rating and putting alerts out for this business. For now, Webb is taking action.
People walked out of here with a plan.
Multiple agencies set up shop Thursday evening, from the Housing Authority to Legal Services.
They're going to help us, some of us pay our first and last month rent to move into our new place.
While Webb continues to find answers in this confusing problem, her mission and message is clear.
That North County is no longer your stepchild. We need to be treated with decency and respect, but do know that this is no longer your dumping ground, and you will be held accountable.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
One of the attorneys at the event says this is unfortunately happening more often than usual in North St. Louis County. He shares this could possibly be a gentrification project.
A warning tonight for Hyundai and Kia owners in St. Louis City. Police say thieves are targeting your cars. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department says 155 Kias and 142 Hyundais have been stolen in the city so far this year. That's more than double the amount of thefts of those models reported by this time last year. Police are urging owners to use steering wheel clubs. They're available through the city. We have more information with this story at ksdk.com.
An 18-year-old is recovering tonight after trying to escape from a juvenile detention center in St. Louis City. Police sources tell 5 on your side the teen broke both of his ankles and fractured his spine after jumping out of a 3rd-story window at the Hogan Street facility last night. He was taken to the hospital where he was listed in stable condition. This is the second attempted escape just this week at the state-run facility in North St. Louis. We reached out today to state leaders who oversee the facility to see if they have any solutions to stop these escapes from happening. We have yet to hear back.
The all clear has been given in Hazelwood tonight after a massive fire and explosion at an asphalt plant. Firefighters say workers at Spirit Asphalt were pouring tar from a tank into a rail car when a spark ignited the fire. No one was hurt. The Missouri Department of Natural Resources and St. Louis County hazmat teams were called in to clean up and inspect the area. It is now deemed safe. As COVID cases continue to climb across our area, doctors are stressing the importance of taking precautions.
But since COVID symptoms can sometimes appear the same as seasonal allergies, how can you know the difference? Brent Solomon checked in with experts to help you sort it out. Brent.
Hey there, Ann. We all have to be careful to protect ourselves and others. Doctors say that includes people who suffer from allergies who may just think, I always have symptoms this time of year. Those symptoms could be a sign of something bigger.
Dandelions, flowers in bloom, sights of summer on the way. Yet for some, it can be downright miserable.
I run outside a lot, and it makes it difficult to exercise because no matter how much medication I take, the symptoms are still pretty bad.
That's because he suffers from seasonal allergies. It means a lot of coughing.
Everything, but especially my eyes. Difficulty breathing sometimes.
Sound familiar? That's because COVID can trigger the same reaction.
You can have sneezing with COVID, but it's just more common with allergies.
I caught up with Dr. Joe Brunworth of SSM Health, St. Louis University Hospital, to help you know the difference.
The nasal congestion and stuffiness can be found in both. But if you have, a really bad sore throat and you feel sick, like you can't get out of bed, and those sorts of ill symptoms are more what I would think of with COVID.
Since symptoms can be so similar, he says those with allergies have to pay close attention to what your body is telling you.
If you had lost a sense of smell and taste and you kept breathing through your nose fine, then I would think, okay, you might want to get tested for COVID. But if you think the reason you're losing your sense of smell is because you're so completely congested that you can't smell or breathe in through your nose, then it might just be your allergies.
Knowing the differences can help not only with your own peace of mind, but also when you have to explain your symptoms to those around you.
Now you're like, just allergies. That's what everyone says, but it really is.
All right, Dr. Bonworth says regardless, it's still a good idea to take COVID precautions, distancing yourself from others, wearing a mask around people, and getting vaccinated. What seems like a minor symptom for you could be significant for someone else if, in fact, COVID is the cause.
Workers in Illinois are now entitled to family bereavement leave. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Family Bereavement Act today. The law mandates 10 days of leave for the death of a family member. It also requires leave for pregnancy loss, failed adoptions, and failed fertility treatments. Pushing Amazon for answers.
It was actually part of a trend of unsafe conditions.
The new information uncovered by Congress about the Edwardsville warehouse collapse during a tornado. The safety warning to other businesses. Pumped up prices. Gas stations charging you more to fill up when paying with plastic. But is it legal? We verify.
I'll time out the rain chances for Friday and then cool temperatures, but then dangerous heat and some records possible next week.
Tonight, a Grand Rapids police officer faces second-degree murder charges in the death of Patrick Loyola. A 26-year-old was shot and killed during a traffic stop back in April. Officer Chris Schur turned himself into authorities today. He'll be arraigned tomorrow. The department is now taking steps to fire Schur. A 40-year-old cold case in Texas is solved. Now, a 42-year-old woman has been connected with her biological family. Her parents were found murdered in a wooded area back in 1981. Their remains were not identified until last year. This week, their daughter was located in Oklahoma. Investigators say members of a religious group dropped baby Holly off at a church. She was later adopted.
Gas levels, they are at a price we have never seen before. According to Gas Buddy, the national average has reached $5 per gallon. That is 27 cents more than a week ago. AAA still has the average at $4.97. St. Louis drivers are paying around $4.60 per gallon. Over in the Metro East, it will cost you around $5.11 to fill up. To find the cheapest places to fill up in our area, just text the word gas to 314-425-5355. We'll respond right away with that list. The price you pay at the pump may depend on how you pay. Our Verify team looked into whether gas stations can legally charge less if you use cash. Here's Brandon Lewis.
It can feel like we're all being nickel and dimed with every purchase. Verify viewer Ezael texted us after he noticed gas prices are 10 cents less if he pays with cash and wants to know if this is allowed. So, Ezael, let's verify. Can gas stations charge different prices for different payment methods? Our sources are the nation's largest credit card processing networks, the National Association of Convenience Stores, and the U.S. Code of Laws. Every time you use a credit card to make a purchase, the merchant pays a fee to the card network operator. The NACS estimates with gas at $5 a gallon, the fee is about 13 cents per gallon. Some gas stations choose to absorb this cost and charge everyone the same price. Others charge one price to customers paying with credit and less to those paying with cash. And there are no federal or state laws prohibiting merchants from offering different prices at the pump. So, yes, gas stations can charge different prices for different payment methods. Using cash also encourages customers to go inside to pay, increasing the odds of buying more profitable items. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like for us to verify? Reach out to us through email, the address verify@kstk.com.
New police dashcam video tonight of the EF2 tornado that touched down near Dayton, Ohio last night. It caused a partial collapse of a retail distribution warehouse. The strong winds ripped off part of the roof, causing the back wall to cave in. The storm also knocked over semi-trailers. Around 50 workers were inside at the time, but no one was hurt. A House Oversight Committee continues its push to learn more about Amazon's severe weather preparedness.
In an effort to determine if the company could have done more to prepare its employees for the December storm, and if charges are needed to keep current employees safe. Tonight, the I-Team's Paula Vassan gets new information from lawmakers and Amazon.
Congresswoman Cori Bush has been pressing Amazon for information. Her hope to file new legislation and prevent Amazon employees from dying in another tornado. Her latest deadline for the company, June 8th. An Amazon spokesperson says they made that deadline. Now, Bush and other lawmakers are reviewing that information from Amazon. Hundreds of pages of documents. It comes after the lawmakers sent this letter to Amazon's CEO last week, requesting policies and procedures. Their goal: to understand how Amazon handled the tornado that killed 6 of its employees in Edwardsville, Illinois in December. The lawmakers also want to know how Amazon will protect its employees if it happens again. Bush says Amazon's failure to communicate for months has obstructed possible legislation that could prevent another tragedy. Meanwhile, Amazon says, we have produced more than 2,200 pages of responsive information.
We had to continue to push this. We were especially troubled in talking to Amazon employees to learn that the dangers present at Edwardsville was not an aberration, but it was actually part of a trend of unsafe conditions, especially during climate-related disasters.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, investigated. It found Amazon's Edwardsville warehouse met, quote, minimum requirements. They tell the I-Team, this should be a wake-up call to employers across the country, and we're calling on Amazon to be an industry leader for workplace safety. Once lawmakers from the House Committee on Oversight and Reform look over those Amazon documents, they'll continue drafting legislation that could help protect employees during severe weather. We'll keep you updated on the developments. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
All right, are you ready for some record heat? Well, Jim is here to tell us we're going to have some record heat very soon. So, right, Jim, enjoy the next couple of days?
Absolutely. 70s for tomorrow, and then by Sunday near 90, and Monday close to 100. And with that humidity, it's going to feel like at least 100. So enjoy this cool weather while it lasts. Look at this on the radar. We see a little bit of shower activity. No severe weather, just some showers moving into Pike County. We'll zoom in a little bit there. You can see anywhere from Bowling Green back into northeast Missouri. So widen out that shot a little bit more. And these are flash flood watches in green. That's where the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity is expected, right here, and then move into Wichita and Oklahoma City. For us, upstream, we have a little bit of shower activity. So the morning and during the overnight hours, rain is likely, but nothing too terribly heavy. Now in the afternoon, we might see a thunderstorm pop up, and I'll get into that coming up. 84 and 61 for the high and low. 84 and 66 are the averages. And right now we're sitting at about 74 in St. Louis, but outside of the city, it's about 64 in Warrenton. So some areas dropping into the 60s. West wind at about 3 miles an hour, and there are the overnight lows, very comfortable. Because keep in mind, next week, some of these lows will be near 80. So low and mid 60s tonight. And then here's that future cast. So keep the umbrellas handy for Friday. Showers in the morning hours. Here's 4 a.m. and then through 7:30 a.m. Again, mainly light. But in the afternoon, we may see an isolated thunderstorm pop up. And in our western counties, we could see a little bit of hail or high wind. So a very low level risk of maybe some isolated severe cells popping up. So we'll watch that as we head into the afternoon. The top story in weather, here it is, this heat ridge building. The jet stream surges up into Canada, and that area of high pressure brings in that heat. So the records expected. About 98 on Monday, that could tie the record. 100 Tuesday will break the record of 97, and then 97 on Wednesday will be just below that record high of 101. All right, 10-day forecast showing that heat staying with us, maybe a little bit less humid as we head into late next week. But there we go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the really extreme heat. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, still low in mid-90s. But guys, the dew point drops a little bit, so it gets slightly more comfortable as we head toward the end of next week, but still hot.
Probably call the air conditioning company now and just get on the books, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Jim, thank you. Sports is next. If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
And good evening. The Cardinals scored 6 runs in 3 games and lost them all in Tampa. The redeeming quality about the day, well, it wasn't a slow, painful death. The 1 hour and 54-minute game was the fastest for the Cardinals in 12 years. Albert Pujols was the DH today. And again, the Cardinals got a break in the second. This shallow pop-up is going to drop. Albert winds up at second but did not score. He and Yachty were honored during the game. Only 2 Cardinal hits all game long. Miles Michaelis deserved better. This was his only mistake. Ji-Man Choi takes him deep with a man on. Miles went the distance and struck out 9. Tying run on in the 9th, Tyler O'Neill hit into bad luck all day. This is a game-ending double play. The good news is the next 6 are against the Pirates. Liam Neeson at Game 5 tonight. I will find you, I will kill you. It was the Lightning taking it to the Rangers. Mikhail Sergachev, who had not scored in the playoffs, scored twice tonight. Tampa wins 3-1. They lead the series 3-2. So the LIV Tour opened up today in London. As you can see behind me, Dustin Johnson hit a long birdie putt. He and Phil Mickelson shot a 1-under and are 4 shots back. And oh, by the way, the PGA Tour suspended 17 of those golfers, but they will all likely play in the U.S. Open next week. And so will this man, Chris Nagel. The former Marquette High and Missouri Baptist grad qualified for his 2nd U.S. Open last week by shooting a stunning 9 under par in a 2-round qualifier. I asked him today at Meadowbrook Country Club about that special day.
When you get in those grooves, you just kind of roll with them. Seems easier than obviously other days, and just kind of you're in the moment. It's a little easier to stay present, a little easier, just to do everything, all the small things very well.
The basketball story of the summer. One of the best players in the portal in the country, Isaiah Mosley, leaves Missouri State for Mizzou. I talked to Coach Gates today.
What people don't know is how much compassion, how much empathy, and how great of a kid Isaiah Mosley is. I truly believe in his gut he felt that way all along. I believe he sat in the background during the portal time with Mizzou on his mind. He just didn't tell anyone.
Finally tonight, we finish with Frankly Speaking and a word about social media and the impact on Brendan Donovan of the Cardinals. I'm not against Twitter. It can be good for following sports. Sometimes, though, it's just so wrong that I wish it didn't exist. Donovan may agree with me now. So on Saturday night in Chicago, this 25-year-old was having the game of his young career against the Cubs. 3 hits, including this big double and 4 RBIs in a thrilling rivalry victory in Wrigley Field. After the game, he wasn't asked about his wonderful hitting, though. He was confronted about previous tweets he had made, tweets that he had posted when he was 14 years old. He used a derogatory term back then. He apologized and then deleted his Twitter account. But think about this. Some media member, probably living in his mom's basement, took the time to scroll through 11-year-old tweets of a rookie baseball player to find something wrong and then ask him about it. I'm not lying. Somebody actually did that. By the way, do you know anybody who didn't say or do something stupid at the age of 14, and yet he had to apologize for it? What does it take to get a press credential nowadays? A driver's license? Get a life. And that'll do it in sports.
Frank, thanks.
The highway to the danger zone this weekend, it's I-64. How to see a big show above Chesterfield.
The annual Folds of Honor campaign, sponsored by Schnucks, is underway. From now until July 4th, you can round up at the register, and money raised goes towards scholarships for spouses and children of fallen and wounded service members. 5 on Your Side is a proud partner of the campaign.
So cool. The Blue Angels roared over Chesterfield today. The latest generation F-18 Hornets are built by Boeing right here in town. Today was a practice run for this weekend's Spirit of St. Louis Air Show. The show will run from 11:30 until 4:30 Saturday and Sunday at Spirit of St. Louis Airport. You must buy tickets online.
And Jim has one final check of the weather.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday look great weather-wise, but tomorrow showers and a chance of an isolated afternoon storm, but some dry time in between. Enjoy that cool weather Friday, about 76. Then on Saturday, 82, Sunday, 90. And then here we go. 98 Monday, 100 Tuesday, and 97 Wednesday. Heat indices 100 to 105.
And there you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Jimmy's guests tonight, Demi Lovato and Jay Farrow. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4:30 a.m. Have a great Friday.